Hi everybody and welcome to the first episode of something I'd like to call Salty Tips. Particles of salt. I haven't quite chosen a name yet. I think Salty Tips will do for now. But basically this is going to be the first in a series of videos that might not be as regular as the other ones, because basically they're just going to be things that because I think about this game all the time. Lol, nerd. So these sorts of videos are basically when I have a thought about something that I think is a good practical advice for you guys. If you're new to fighting games, or if you're a bit more experienced in fighting games, but you're struggling, learning how to do certain combos or something, every now and again I'll have a thought and I'll think, it would be a good idea to make a video of that. So this will be a series of those sorts of like little flash, like brainwave ideas, basically, where I have a flash thought thinking, what about this? This will make sense if I do a video on this and show people how to do it, or if people are a little bit confused, how would they do X, Y, or Z. So the first thing I thought of, and one of the things that that I thought of that was quite difficult to pick up when I first started playing, was how do I choose which combo route to do if my character has multiple options. So this video won't teach you how to do the combos, because there's plenty of videos on that online. I might do a combo video later about the best combos that I choose online. I'll sort of brush upon that with Scorpion in this one. The purpose of this video basically is to put you in the mindset of when is the best time to do each combo, because certain characters in this game have multiple combo paths, and maybe you'll be watching a pro play, or you'll be watching a combo video, and they'll do a combo different to the one that you usually do, or a combo that you won't expect them to do in a certain situation, because you'll think, well, that doesn't do the most damage, or why did they choose to do that in that situation? That didn't do any damage. So I just wanted to go through the mindset of people, not everyone obviously, but just a broad overview of the mindsets that people use when they choose specific combo paths, and what sort of mindset you should have when you're choosing to do certain combos in certain situations. I'm going to choose Scorpion. Scorpion's one of my main characters in this game, and NetherRealm have done an amazing job with him in this game, in making him super fun to play and giving him loads of fun options to do, and making his combos really fun to pull off as well, because they look really flashy and they look cool. So they've done a really good job not only of making him a strong character in the game, but also making him aesthetic and fun to watch. So for Scorpion, he has multiple different combo paths, so depending on his variations, he has a variety of extenders that he has in the Searing Rage spec, which is the spec with the when you can charge up your flame, your kunai and make it a flame, and he has a combo extender with forward 2, which is the mid overhead low string, and his basic bread and butter starter, and bread and butter is just like the normal generic combo, is starter string, whatever that is, whether it's 1-1, 2-1, forward 2, whatever you decide to do, into amplified teleport into an ender. So when I first started watching people play, I noticed that the combo that I had learnt to do wasn't the same combo as what I'd been seeing a lot of players online doing, and I couldn't figure out why. I thought, well, why are they not going for these optimized damage combos when the opportunity presents itself? Why would they rather go for this combo, which does less damage? And it wasn't until I started playing that I realized that there's a lot of layers to this game specifically. I mean, this knowledge can be used in every game, but this video will deal with specifically the combos in this game, because there's a lot of defensive mechanics in this game that mean that you have to choose the right combo for the right situation based on a lot of different factors. And the main one of those is the breakaway system. Now, for people that are new to the game, there's a very good tutorial in the game itself, which I would highly recommend you doing, regardless of whether or not you're new to the game, because it's very comprehensive and it teaches you a lot of stuff. But also, essentially the breakaway mechanic is what used to be a combo breaker in the old Mortal Kombat games, in the if you press down and block at the very height of a juggle opportunity. So if you're in the air and you're being juggled, if you press down and block when you're in the peak of that arc of whatever juggle string you're in, you will actually fall out of the combo at the cost of your 2 defensive meters. Now, the meters take a very, very long time to come back if you decide to use this option. So it's very important that you use it in the right situation. But that is why I was thinking a lot about this combo situation and when to do certain combos, because not choosing the right combo in a certain situation, this happened to me multiple times playing a Scorpion, is that it's put me in a position where I can get really punished, basically, potentially even losing the round, because I've committed to a combo and not realised that it was the wrong combo to do in any given situation. So, yeah, I just want to go through a couple of Scorpion strings using Scorpion as an example, and this information can go for all characters depending on, you know, what sort of situation you're in and what sort of length of combo you want to use. Or maybe you want to bait them into using their breakaway, you know, it's whatever you think is the best way of dealing with it. But this is just specifically looking at Scorpion and then using the knowledge that I'm showing you with Scorpion to apply that to other combos with other characters. So, for the purpose of this experiment, I've just done 1-1-2 as the ender for all of my combos, just because it's easier just to see the damage on each combo, so you can see exactly, you know, what combo does what damage, just for the sake of execution as well. So I've pre-recorded a couple of combos. I'll play them to you, and you can see the combos, and then you can see why they're not necessarily the best combos to do in certain instances, and I'll explain when you should do each, and why you might decide to do one instead of another. So, the first combo is probably the most damaging combo you can do if you choose the Reborn spec, Reborn variation, because that doesn't have the searing chain forward 2 extender, nor does it have the 2-1, 2-4 ender. So this combo is 1-1, amplified teleport. Then when they're in the air after the juggle, you do forward 3. Then while they're in the air, you press 4, and then you quickly cancel that into amplified spear for the restand, 1-1-2. And I was thinking, so I'll show you the combo, because I've already recorded it. So if you see 1-1-2, amplified teleport, forward 3-4, amplified spear, 1-1-2. So 324 damage, right? So that is good. I mean, it uses 2 meters. But that's good damage for, you know, just a normal spec. That's not including crushing blows or, you know, anything like that. Now, the reason why I thought this spec, when I first saw this combo, I thought, well, that's great, because now I don't need to use this combo. Now I don't need to use Searing Rage spec, and I can still get similar sort of damage to using forward. Instead of using forward 2, I can do forward 3, then 4. However, I noticed very quickly that, and this is another thing that goes into mindsets of combos, is that if you see when you do the forward 3-4, imagine, one thing I didn't consider when you're doing that combo is, imagine trying to hit that 4 after the forward 3 when you're playing on 150 ms against a Wi-Fi user online. So even though it's silly and you don't really consider that, when you're learning your combos in practice mode, you're learning them offline, you hit them, 9 times out of 10, and you think, great, I've got this down, gameplay situation, even if you're playing it against a computer in Towers of Time or whatever, or, and you think, oh, I can hit this computer in like a real combat situation, hit this combo in a real combat situation, I've got it down, it's good to go. You have to think about the situation in which you're playing. Online, in fighting games, I think is amazing in the fact that without it, I think fighting games, this is a whole other conversation, but I think without online, I think fighting games would have died a death a long time ago. However, the online experience in a lot of fighting games, Mortal Kombat included, even though the online of it is great, is that a lot of the times you will not be playing in optimal situations. So fighting games require a lot of, if you don't know by now, fighting games require a lot of emphasis on frames and frame data. So a lot of these combos, especially the more finicky ones, require you to be very precise. Like this combo, it looks quite easy to do. It looked quite simple because it's just one button after the forward 3, so it's just forward 3 then 4. However, trying to hit that when you're lagging, or if your connection isn't great, it is just not going to be an optimal combo to do in that sort of situation. If you can get it offline and you're confident to do it offline, then by all means, because it's a strong combo. You know, it's once you've got it down, it's not that difficult to do. But you have to think, if I'm playing online, what are the, and it's not the best situation, what are the odds that I'm going to hit that combo, you know, or potentially drop it because there's a lag spike or whatever the situation is, and then I've lost the round, or that could have been the game-winning combo and then I've dropped it and now I've lost. So you have to, one of the first thing you have to learn is consider your surroundings, basically. Can this combo be performed in the situation, like essentially the online situation that I'm in? Is my connection stable enough to hit this precise combo? And it sounds silly because obviously offline you don't have that issue. If you've practiced it 100 times and you think you're going to hit it 100 times, by all means do it, because obviously offline there's no lag, there's no issues with the frames, there's no issues with, you know, frames being dropped or, you know, random lag spikes causing your combo to drop. You can hit it every time, so do it every time if you feel confident. But if you don't feel confident, lesson number one, consider your surroundings, consider your situation. Don't do a combo that you don't think you're going to hit based on a specific situation. So even though you might not be getting optimal damage, think about, can I hit this combo if there was a lag spike now? Can I hit this combo if a frame randomly decided to drop? Because this game isn't massively execution heavy, so there's not a lot of really high, especially not with Scorpion, there's not a lot of really high damaging combos that you can do that require a lot of execution that are much more damage either way. But yeah, you just always have to think, can this combo be pulled off given the lag or the internet or the Wi-Fi or whatever it is? You shouldn't be playing on Wi-Fi anyway. You should always be connected to the router if you can. You should always be connected to the router if you can. So, that's lesson number one. Can this combo be pulled off? So that's why this combo might not be so practical if you're playing in an online situation, because hitting the 4 after the forward 3, that might not work. So, offline by all means, online, be very careful. So you think, alright, well, I can't hit the forward 3 into the 4 because of lag, so I'll do an easier combo that will do just as much damage. Why not? So, this is where we get to the Searing Rage spec. So as I said, Searing Rage has a string forward 2, which is a 3-hit string, medium, overhead, low, and you can actually special cancel the first 2 hits mid-combo, which is the medium and the overhead. Now, I'll show you the combo and then I'll discuss it. I'll break it down as to the, you know, the stages, and then why you would think to do it, and then why maybe it's not such a good idea. So, 1-1 extender, forward 2, forward 3-2, forward 3 into amplified spear, 1-1-2. 326 damage. So it's actually more damage than the forward 3-4 extender from the last combo. And again, that's without a crushing blow, that's even without the the proper searing chain ender. That's just, you know, because we're just looking at the middle bit of the combo here. So that does a lot of damage. It's far easier to do than the forward 3-4, because it's just forward 3 again to into amplified chain into 1-1-2. 326 damage with the 1-1-2 ender. So much more damage. And you think, you know what? Much easier to do. It's just forward 3 into forward 3 again. Much more straightforward to hit. Even if you're online, which is, I mean, I've done this combo a million times online. You know, my execution on it, the execution rate is high, the damage is high. There's no reason not to use this combo instead of forward 3-4 into spear, right? But this is where I'm talking about the layers of this game. So, even though that this combo is easy to do, and then it's easier to do and easier to do in an online scenario, you have to think, does my opponent have meter to breakaway? Forward 2 string is 3 hits, but only requires 2 inputs. So after they've committed to the forward 3, once they've pressed 2, they commit to the whole string. It doesn't matter if they decide to special cancel it again or whatever. If that forward 2 doesn't hit into the next part of the combo, they're screwed. So, what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to show you the combo, but then I'm going to break away. I'm going to try to. Can you see? Scorpion fully committed. Do you see what happened there? So he committed to that string because that's just the combo, because he had to commit to it with the forward 3-2. I broke out of it. he still threw the spear because he'd already committed to the combo, and then I was able to get a full punish. So that's another lesson. Number 2 is when you're doing a combo, make sure that you're aware of your opponent's defensive situation. If I had no breakaway meter, doing that combo is fine, because, or if I only had one defensive meter, that's fine to do that extender then, because I've got no meter to break out of it, so you can get as much damage as you can out of the situation. However, if I do have defensive meter, it's not a good idea to do that combo, even though it's easier to do and even though it does more damage, because I could break out of it at any time, especially once you've committed to that second forward 3 into the 2, because that means you've fully committed to the combo, unless you've got defensive meter. So you've gone from being in a massive situation offensively to being in a really awful situation defensively. So lesson number 2 is always be aware of your opponent's meter situation. In certain situations when you're playing online, maybe you want to do it one time just to see if the opponent will break away, just to test them, and if they do after that, then maybe don't do it again. But I would be on the safer side, because especially the more the game is played, the more people are going to discover tech and tools and ways of getting around these sorts of combos. So you just have to be more and more careful about, the combo path that you choose. So the best extender rather, which is the one that I've seen, which I see more pros do, is this combo. So this combo is forward, is 1-1 into amplified teleport, forward 3, so it's always a forward 3, but instead of doing forward 3 then forward 2, it's forward 3 and then 1-1 into amplified spear into whatever ender. If they break out of it the first forward 3, which is what they tend to do, you've already read, look, see, actually that is a good situation. You've already read that they've dropped the combo and you've just pieced out. You haven't committed to anything. You saw as soon as I broke the combo, I broke away, the combo stopped. So you hadn't committed to anything. So the computer there did R1 because I programmed in to do that part of the amplified combo, so it was going to do it anyway. It didn't read the rest of the combo. But you saw, actually, that was a perfect example that even though I broke away after the forward 3, because I'd committed to the 1-1 afterwards and not the forward 2 or the 4, that the computer was able to see that the combo wasn't extending and stopped it, and then obviously the other command came in. But that also works for you. So if you're doing a combo and you do the forward 3 and you're going to do a 1-1 afterwards, then that's the best thing to do, even though it doesn't give you the most damage. But also you haven't committed to the string like you have with the forward 2, and you can stop the combo earlier so that you're not putting yourself in a disadvantaged position if the opponent decides to use their breakaway meter to get out of the combo. So if I go to, now I go to practice options. So if I go to control player 2, I'll show you me doing it. So you're doing the combo, 1-1, they break away, you just stop doing the combo. It's not like if they break away, so if I'm doing it this way, and I do that combo, if you can see, I press 2 buttons, but it commits to the 3 strings. So if they break out after the second hit, you're already doing that third hit where you're kicking the chain with your foot. They've already gotten up and they're already punishing you. After the forward 3 part or the 1-1 part, you've got the ability to cut the combo short if they decide to break away, and then you're safe to block or to move back or to put yourself basically to reset the situation so that you can maybe go for another combo starter, maybe go for the overhead. If you're Scorpion, you've got loads of options that you can do if somebody's waking up. Especially in this instance, if they decide to break away, it means they've got no defensive meter, so they can't invincible get up, they can't launch get up, and they can't roll. So the only thing they can do is delayed wake up. So in that instance, that's why you're in a much better defensive situation, because you haven't used your defensive meter, and you've stopped the combo early, so you're not getting punished, and you're in a much better place offensively, so that you can reset the situation. They're in a really bad situation because they've used all of their defensive meter, and you've still got, because if you haven't done that second amplified spear, you've still got another amplified teleport, so you can do another whole half, it doesn't do as much damage obviously, but 272 damage only with 1 bar, because you've forced them to use their breakaway meter, you've read the situation, then you've reset them, and you've gone for another 300 damage combo because you still have the 1 bar because you haven't used it for the 2 bar amplified spear extender, and you can get another combo on top. The second lesson is making sure that you know what their defensive situation is. Is my opponent in an optimal defensive situation so that he can break away at any point? And what is my situation in an online capacity? Can I hit the combo with the lag, and etc, etc. So you can even still do 2 bar combos if you see a lot of the things that I like, a combo that I like to do if they do have meter. So they can only do breakaway combos if they're in the air. So that did 232 damage, so that's not a lot of damage, and I used 2 bars, but there was no opportunity for him there to break away. So even if he's had full defensive meter, because I decided to go for the spear extender, amplified spear extender, rather than the amplified teleport extender, there was no opportunity for him to break away. So that's 232 damage that he has absolutely no way of breaking out of, even if he does have meter to break away, because you can only break away if you're in a juggle state. So because he was standing the whole time, he couldn't break away. So just mix that in as well. If you think they're going to break away but you still want the guaranteed damage and you'd rather close out the round, maybe hit them with a combo with amplified spear rather than amplified teleport, because then it will keep them standing. Or if you want to bait out the breakaway, if you think that, you know, you've got a strong enough life lead and you just want to make sure they use all their defensive resources, by all means do the forward 3-1-1 string and then, you know, force them to break away and reset the situation. But that's the strength of Scorpion, is he has so many possible combo routes that given any situation you can do certain combos depending on, you know, whether or not they have meter. So if they do have meter to break away, it's better to do the forward 3-1-1 extender, because it gives you the opportunity to read the situation and stop the combo early if they do decide to break away. Don't do the forward 3-4 extender if you're playing online and you're not confident, because you will drop the combo, and then, you know, it's essentially giving them a free breakaway because they haven't had to use any meter and you've dropped the combo. Or if you use the forward 2 extender, only use it when they don't have meter. If you've got Searing Rage spec, only use it if they don't have meter and they can't break away from the combo for maximum damage. So yeah, that's just those are the things you have to keep in mind when you're doing combos online. I mean, obviously using Scorpion as the main example. Can I pull this combo off given this situation? Am I confident enough to pull it off? Is the connection strong enough if you're playing online? And do they have the meter to break away, putting me in a much less favorable attacking position, and, you know, potentially losing the match because you've been punished because you've overcommitted to a combo at the wrong time when they've had meter to break away. Always be ready to stop a combo early. Don't overcommit. So yeah, that was just something I've been thinking of a lot lately, because when I first started playing, I was a little bit unsure as to, you know, well, why wouldn't I do forward 2 the whole time? Because obviously it does the most damage, and I've had people come into my stream and ask me, you know, why don't you do this extender rather than that extender? So I just thought I'd do a video basically addressing my thought process and just helping to suggest a thought process for you guys. So, you know, whatever character you play, just try and come up with the optimal thing for you to be able to pull off, and that will put you in the best situation at any given time. So thank you very much for watching my video. If you have any more questions, feel free, please leave a comment in below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to come into my stream whilst I'm streaming, 10 till 3 GMT, that is, every day. Come find me on Twitter. I'm happy to answer any questions. I love this game and I'm happy to teach people, you know, as much as I know to help them if, you know, if they're struggling with certain situations, or if they just want another person's opinion on anything. So, with that in mind, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, and don't forget to stay salty. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much.